Everyone at the Pentagon thought she was just the IT technician who fixed their computers and updated their software. Specialist Amanda Torres spent her days troubleshooting network problems and installing security patches, while generals and analysts conducted the real work of national defense. But when cyber attacks threatened to cripple drone operations across 8 different countries simultaneously, Amanda's fingers flew across keyboards that weren't connected to any network anyone knew about. What she accomplished that night didn't just prevent a global security catastrophe. It revealed that the quiet IT girl had been operating the most sophisticated drone warfare system in human history. Welcome to those who left a trace. Before we dive into this extraordinary story, tell us in the comments where in the world are you watching from today. And if you believe stories of hidden technological warriors deserve to be heard, hit that subscribe button. You make this community what it is. The Pentagon's Information Technology Services Division occupied 3 floors of the massive building's outer ring, housing the computer systems and network infrastructure that supported the most powerful military organization in the world. Among the hundreds of IT specialists who maintained these critical systems, Specialist Amanda Torres was practically invisible, just another 24-year-old technician who arrived early, worked quietly, and left late without attracting any attention from the senior officers and defense analysts who depended on her services. Amanda's official job description was routine: maintain computer networks, troubleshoot hardware problems, install software updates, and provide technical support to personnel who range from junior enlisted soldiers to 4-star generals. Her security clearance was standard for IT personnel, allowing her access to unclassified and low-level classified systems, but nothing that would be considered sensitive from a national security perspective. What distinguished Amanda from her colleagues wasn't her technical skills, though she was undoubtedly competent in her assigned responsibilities. What made her different was her habit of working unusual hours, her tendency to volunteer for overtime assignments that other technicians avoided, and her apparent fascination with network security issues that went far beyond her official duties. But what none of her supervisors or colleagues knew was that Amanda Torres had been recruited by the National Security Agency while still in college, had completed advanced training in cyber warfare and drone operations, and had been assigned to the Pentagon under deep cover to conduct classified operations that officially didn't exist. For the past 2 years, while appearing to work as a routine IT support specialist, Amanda had actually been operating what the intelligence community called Project Overwatch, a network of advanced drone systems that provided surveillance and tactical support for American military operations in 8 different countries simultaneously. The Overwatch system was unlike any drone operation that had ever been developed. Instead of relying on pilots sitting in trailers at remote military bases, the system used artificial intelligence and advanced automation to coordinate hundreds of drones across multiple theaters of operation, with human oversight provided by operators who worked from locations that were so classified that their existence was denied by official sources. Amanda was one of only 7 operators worldwide who had access to the complete Overwatch system, and she was the only operator who was embedded in a conventional military facility where she could provide support for operations while maintaining perfect cover as routine IT personnel. The crisis began on a Thursday evening in March, when Amanda was working alone in the IT Services Division's main server room, ostensibly performing routine maintenance on network security systems. The Pentagon was operating with minimal staffing due to the late hour, and most of the senior personnel had gone home, leaving the building under the control of night shift operations officers and security personnel. But Amanda wasn't performing routine maintenance. She was monitoring Project Overwatch operations across 8 different countries, coordinating drone surveillance missions that were providing real-time intelligence to American forces conducting classified operations in some of the most dangerous regions in the world. Through her classified workstation, which appeared to be a standard network management console, but was actually connected to most advanced military communication systems in existence, Amanda was simultaneously monitoring drone operations in Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Somalia, Yemen, the Philippines, Colombia, and a location that was so classified she referred to it only as Theater 8. Each theater of operations presented unique challenges and requirements. In Afghanistan, her drones were providing overwatch for Special Operations Forces conducting raids against Taliban strongholds. In Iraq, they were monitoring Iranian military activities near the border with Syria. In Somalia, they were tracking terrorist leaders who were planning attacks against American interests in East Africa. But it was in Theater 8 where Amanda's most sensitive operations were being conducted. Surveillance missions that monitored the activities of a foreign power whose military capabilities posed strategic threats to American interests worldwide. The attack began at 2,147 hours Eastern Time, when Amanda's monitoring systems detected coordinated cyber attacks against the communication networks that linked her control systems to the drone operations in all 8 theaters simultaneously. The attacks were sophisticated beyond anything Amanda had encountered during her 2 years of Overwatch operations. Instead of conventional hacking attempts or malware infections, the attackers were using advanced techniques that suggested state-sponsored cyber warfare capabilities designed specifically to disrupt American drone operations. Multiple network intrusions detected. Amanda said quietly to herself as she analyzed the incoming threat data. Coordinated attacks against primary communication channels in all operational theaters. The sophistication of the attacks immediately told Amanda that this wasn't a random cybersecurity incident. Someone with detailed knowledge of American drone operations was attempting to blind and disable the Overwatch system at a time when American forces in multiple countries were depending on drone support for ongoing missions. Amanda's training in cyber warfare and network security had prepared her for this moment, but the scale and coordination of the attacks exceeded anything she had trained for. She was facing a cyber warfare assault that threatened to compromise American military operations on a global scale. Primary communication links compromised in theaters 1 through 6. Amanda reported to her classified communication system, attempting to maintain operations through backup channels. But as Amanda worked to counter the cyber attacks, she realized that the attackers had anticipated her defensive measures. Every backup system she activated was immediately targeted by additional attacks that demonstrated detailed knowledge of American drone communication networks. All backup communication systems under attack, Amanda reported, switching to emergency protocols. The emergency protocols were Amanda's last line of defense, classified communication systems that were supposed to be unknown to foreign intelligence services and immune to cyber attack. But as she activated these systems, she discovered that they too were being targeted by attackers who clearly had inside knowledge of American drone operations. Amanda was facing the nightmare scenario that every cyber warfare specialist trained for but hoped never to encounter. A coordinated attack by adversaries who had somehow gained access to classified information about the most sensitive American military systems. All classified communication systems compromised, Amanda reported, losing contact with drone operations in all theaters. As the cyber attacks intensified, Amanda realized that American forces in 8 different countries were about to lose the drone support that was providing crucial intelligence and tactical advantages for ongoing missions. Special operations teams conducting raids would lose their Overwatch capability. Intelligence gathering operations would be blind to enemy movements. American soldiers would be operating without the technological advantages that had become essential for mission success and force protection. But Amanda Torres had capabilities that went beyond what any conventional IT specialist possessed, and she had access to systems that officially didn't exist. Making a decision that would either save American lives or end her career, Amanda activated what Project Overwatch classified as Autonomous Emergency Protocol, an experimental system that would allow her to maintain drone operations without relying on the compromised communication networks. The Autonomous Emergency Protocol was the most advanced drone control system ever developed, using artificial intelligence and quantum communication technologies that pushed the boundaries of what was theoretically possible in cyber warfare. Instead of controlling drones through conventional networks that could be attacked and compromised, the system established direct quantum entanglement links that were immune to conventional cyber attacks. But activating the system required Amanda to reveal capabilities that were supposed to remain classified at the highest levels of national security, and it meant taking personal responsibility for drone operations that could affect American military missions worldwide. Initiating autonomous emergency protocol, Amanda announced her classified communication system, assuming direct control of Overwatch operations in all theaters. What happened over the next 6 hours would be remembered as the most sophisticated cyber warfare operation in military history, as Amanda single-handedly coordinated drone operations across 8 countries, while simultaneously conducting cyber attacks against the foreign systems that were attempting to compromise American military capabilities. Through the quantum communication links that she had activated, Amanda regained control of over 300 drones operating in different theaters of operation. But instead of simply restoring defensive surveillance capabilities, she used the advanced features of the autonomous emergency protocol to conduct offensive operations that turned the cyber attack against its originators. Overwatch controlled all theater commanders. Amanda transmitted through secured channels. Drone operations restored, beginning counteroffensive against hostile cyber networks. Using techniques that combine conventional cyber warfare with quantum computing capabilities, Amanda began tracing the sources of the attacks against American drone systems. But what she discovered was far more alarming than a simple cybersecurity incident. The attacks were coming from a coordinated network of foreign military cyber warfare units operating from 6 different countries, using resources and capabilities that indicated a level of international cooperation that posed strategic threats to American national security. Theater commanders, be advised, Amanda transmitted. Hostile cyber attacks originated from coordinated foreign military operation involving multiple nation-states. This was not an isolated incident, but Amanda's counteroffensive capabilities allowed her to do more than just identify the sources of the attacks. Through the quantum links that connected her to the Overwatch system, she began conducting cyber attacks against the foreign networks that had targeted American drone operations. Initiating cyber counteroffensive against hostile networks, Amanda announced, neutralizing foreign cyber warfare capabilities to prevent future attacks against American systems. Over the next 4 hours, Amanda conducted cyber warfare operations that systematically disabled the foreign networks that had attacked American drone systems. But her operations went beyond simple defensive measures. She was gathering intelligence about foreign cyber warfare capabilities, while simultaneously demonstrating American technological superiority in ways that would serve as deterrents to future attacks. Foreign cyber networks neutralized, Amanda reported as dawn approached. Intelligence gathered on foreign cyber warfare capabilities. American drone operations secured against future attacks. But the most remarkable aspect of Amanda's operations wasn't the cyber warfare she had conducted. It was the way she had simultaneously coordinated drone operations in 8 different countries while conducting defensive and offensive cyber operations. Through the autonomous emergency protocol, Amanda had provided tactical support for American forces conducting operations from Afghanistan to Colombia, coordinating surveillance and reconnaissance missions that had prevented American casualties, while gathering intelligence that supported strategic objectives in each theater of operations. All theater commanders, this is Overwatch control, Amanda transmitted as she concluded her operations. Drone support restored to all operational areas. Intelligence gathered during cyber defense operations being transmitted through classified channels. As the sun rose over Washington, D.C., Amanda began the process of transitioning her operations back to conventional systems and preparing reports that would document what she had accomplished during the night's crisis. But she also knew that her cover as a routine IT specialist had been compromised beyond repair, and that her future assignments would require acknowledging capabilities that had been hidden for 2 years. At 0800 hours, as Amanda was completing her transition back to normal operations, she was approached by 2 men in civilian clothes who had obviously been waiting for her to finish her classified activities. Specialist Torres, the senior man, said, "I'm Director Williams from NSA, and this is General Patterson from Cyber Command. We need to discuss what happened here last night." Amanda looked at the 2 officials, recognizing that she was about to transition from covert operations to official acknowledgement of her actual role and capabilities. "Sir, I assume you've been monitoring Project Overwatch operations?" Director Williams smiled. "Specialist, we've been monitoring your operations for the past 6 hours. What you accomplished last night represents the most sophisticated cyber warfare and drone coordination operation in military history." General Patterson stepped forward. Specialist, the counteroffensive you conducted against foreign cyber networks, that wasn't just offensive cybersecurity. That was strategic-level cyber warfare that has implications for national security policy at the highest levels of government. Amanda was quiet for a moment, recognizing that she was being asked to discuss operations that had previously been so classified that their existence was denied by official sources. Sir, the foreign networks that attacked American drone systems represented coordinated cyber warfare capabilities that pose strategic threats to American military operations worldwide. The counteroffensive was necessary to protect American forces and prevent future attacks. Williams pulled out a classified folder that contained analysis of Amanda's operations. Specialist, the intelligence you gathered during your counteroffensive has provided insights into foreign cyber warfare capabilities that intelligence agencies have been trying to obtain for years. But more than that, General Patterson added, your coordination of drone operations in 8 countries simultaneously while conducting cyber warfare that demonstrated capabilities that we didn't know existed in American cyber warfare doctrine. Amanda was beginning to understand that her operations had strategic implications that went far beyond the immediate crisis she had responded to. Sir, the Autonomous Emergency Protocol, was that an authorized use of classified capabilities? Williams and Patterson exchanged glances before Williams responded. Specialist, the Autonomous Emergency Protocol was developed for exactly the kind of crisis you faced last night. Your decision to activate it was not only authorized, it was exactly what the system was designed for. General Patterson pulled out additional documents. Specialist, what we need to understand is the full scope of your capabilities and the potential for expanding the Overwatch system based on what you accomplished. Amanda was quiet for a moment, considering how to respond to questions about capabilities that she had been developing independently during her 2 years of covert operations. Sir, the operations I conducted last night were possible because I had been developing enhanced techniques for integrating cyber warfare with drone operations. The Autonomous Emergency Protocol provided access to capabilities that I had been preparing to use if conventional systems were compromised. Williams leaned forward. Specialist, what kind of enhanced techniques are we talking about? Amanda gestured toward her workstation, which still displayed the quantum communication links that had allowed her to maintain drone operations during the cyber attacks. Sir, I developed methods for using quantum entanglement to establish secure communication links that are immune to conventional cyber attacks. I also developed artificial intelligence algorithms that allow coordinated operation of multiple drone systems with minimal human oversight. General Patterson was taking notes rapidly. Specialist, are you telling us that you independently developed quantum communication and advanced AI capabilities? Sir, I developed techniques that integrate existing quantum computing research with drone operation requirements. The AI algorithms were based on machine learning approaches that I adapted for military applications. Williams was studying the technical displays that showed the scope of Amanda's operations. Specialist, the drone coordination you conducted, how many individual aircraft were you controlling simultaneously? Amanda checked her operational logs. Sir, at peak operations, I was coordinating 347 individual drones across 8 different theaters of operation, plus conducting cyber warfare against hostile networks in 6 countries. The number made both officials stop writing and stare at Amanda. Specialist, General Patterson said slowly, are you telling us that you were personally responsible for 347 drones conducting military operations in 8 countries, while simultaneously conducting cyber warfare against 6 foreign nations? Yes, sir. The Autonomous Emergency Protocol allows coordinated operations at scales that exceed what conventional drone operations can achieve. Williams was quiet for a moment, processing the implications of what Amanda had revealed. Specialist, what you accomplished represents a revolution in military capabilities. The coordination of that many systems by a single operator that changes everything we thought we knew about cyber warfare and drone operations. General Patterson was studying organizational charts that showed how Amanda's operations had supported American military activities worldwide. Specialists, the intelligence you gathered and the tactical support you provided. Can you quantify the impact on American military operations? Amanda pulled out operational reports that documented her activities during the crisis. Sir, based on the intelligence I provided and the tactical support I coordinated, I prevented approximately 15 potential casualties among American forces, gathered intelligence that supports ongoing operations in all 8 theaters, and neutralized foreign cyber warfare capabilities that pose strategic threats to American national security. Williams and Patterson exchanged glances that suggested they were processing information that exceeded their expectations about what a single operator could accomplish. Specialist, Williams said, what you've described, the scope of operations, the strategic impact, the technological capabilities, that goes far beyond what any individual specialist should be able to achieve. Amanda was quiet for a moment, recognizing that she was being asked to explain capabilities that she had never fully disclosed to her supervisors. Sir, the Project Overwatch assignment provided access to classified technologies and training that allowed development of capabilities beyond what conventional military training produces. I used that access to develop enhanced techniques that multiplied the effectiveness of standard drone operations. General Patterson leaned forward. Specialist, are you saying that you've been conducting independent research and development while assigned to cover duties as an IT specialist? Sir, I've been developing techniques that enhance American military capabilities while maintaining perfect operational security through my cover assignment. Williams was beginning to understand the full scope of Amanda's activities during her 2 years at the Pentagon. Specialist, the cover assignment wasn't just operational security. It was providing you with the freedom to develop capabilities that wouldn't have been possible under conventional military oversight. Yes, sir. The cover assignment allowed me to develop and test techniques that push the boundaries of what's possible in cyber warfare and drone operations. General Patterson was studying technical specifications that Amanda had provided about her enhanced systems. Specialist, the quantum communication capabilities you developed, are those techniques that can be replicated and taught to other operators? Amanda considered the question carefully. Sir, the techniques require advanced training in quantum computing, artificial intelligence, and cyber warfare that goes beyond what standard military training provides. But with appropriate resources and training programs, other operators could develop similar capabilities. Williams and Patterson exchanged another glance, and Amanda realized that she was being evaluated for assignments that would go far beyond her current cover position. Specialist, Williams said, how would you feel about transitioning from covert operations to official acknowledgement of your capabilities and assignment to develop training programs for other operators? Amanda felt her pulse quickening as she processed the implications of what Williams was proposing. Sir, what kind of training programs? The kind that would produce operators capable of conducting the type of operations you performed last night. General Patterson replied, cyber warfare and drone coordination at strategic levels that support American military operations worldwide. Amanda was quiet for a moment, considering the transition from covert operations to official recognition of capabilities that have been hidden for 2 years. Sir, would those training programs include development of the quantum communication and AI technologies that made last night's operations possible? Specialist, Williams said, what we're proposing is the establishment of a new branch of military cyber operations based on the techniques and capabilities you've developed. You would be responsible for training the next generation of cyber warfare and drone operations specialists. Amanda looked at her workstation, where the quantum communication links were still active and providing secure connections to drone operations in 8 different countries. Sir, what about ongoing Overwatch operations? Who would maintain those systems if I transition to training responsibilities? General Patterson smiled. Specialist, part of your training responsibilities would be preparing other operators to take over Overwatch operations while you develop even more advanced capabilities. Amanda was beginning to understand that she was being offered the opportunity to transform her covert research and development work into official military doctrine that would influence American cyber warfare capabilities for years to come. Sir, I accept the assignment. 6 months later, the Cyber Warfare Training Center that Amanda Torres had established at a classified location was producing operators capable of conducting drone and cyber operations that exceeded anything the military had previously imagined possible. The training program that Major Amanda Torres, she had been commissioned as an officer and promoted based on her demonstrated capabilities, had developed combined advanced education in quantum computing, artificial intelligence, and cyber warfare with practical training in coordinating complex military operations across multiple theaters simultaneously. But perhaps most importantly, Amanda had solved the scalability problem that had limited Project Overwatch to a handful of operators worldwide. Through the training program she developed, the military was able to produce operators capable of conducting strategic-level cyber warfare and drone operations while maintaining the operational security that kept their capabilities hidden from potential adversaries. The lesson of Amanda Torres, General Patterson would tell senior military leaders, is that our most advanced capabilities often come from individuals who have the freedom to develop techniques beyond what conventional training and oversight would normally allow. Torres proved that cyber warfare and drone operations could be integrated at scales that we had never imagined, but only because she had the cover assignment and operational freedom to develop techniques that push beyond conventional limitations. The autonomous emergency protocol that Amanda had activated during the crisis had become the foundation for a new approach to military operations that integrated cyber warfare, drone coordination, and intelligence gathering in ways that provided strategic advantages across multiple theaters of operation simultaneously. And somewhere in a classified facility that officially didn't exist, operators trained in Amanda's techniques continued conducting operations that protected American interests while demonstrating technological capabilities that served as deterrents to potential adversaries. The quiet IT specialist who had spent 2 years fixing computers while secretly coordinating drone operations in 8 countries had become the architect of a revolution in military cyber warfare that proved the most dangerous assumption in national defense is the assumption that you know what the person sitting at the next desk is actually capable of accomplishing. But the deeper lesson of Amanda's story was about the strategic value of providing exceptional individuals with the resources and freedom to develop capabilities that push beyond conventional limitations. Her success came not just from her technical skills, but from the cover assignment that allowed her to work without the constraints that conventional military oversight might have imposed 2 years after the night that revealed Amanda's true capabilities. The cyber warfare and drone coordination techniques she had developed were being used to support American military operations in over 20 different countries. The scalability that she had achieved through her training programs had multiplied American military effectiveness while maintaining the operational security that kept potential adversaries from understanding the full scope of American technological advantages. Colonel Amanda Torres, now serving as Director of Advanced Cyber Operations, continued to push the boundaries of what was possible in military technology while training the next generation of cyber warfare specialists who would carry forward her innovations. The computer networks in the Pentagon continued to be maintained by IT specialists who arrived early, worked quietly, and left late without attracting attention from senior officers. But now, everyone understood that the most valuable capabilities in national defense often came from the people who appear to be doing routine support work, while actually developing the technologies that would define the future of warfare. The 347 drones that Amanda had coordinated during her response to the cyber attacks had been just the beginning of capabilities that would eventually encompass thousands of systems operating in coordination across multiple continents, providing American forces with technological advantages that made conventional military operations more effective while reducing risks to American personnel. But perhaps most importantly, Amanda's story had demonstrated that exceptional individual capabilities, when combined with appropriate resources and operational freedom, could produce strategic advantages that exceeded what conventional organizational approaches could achieve. The IT technician who had been practically invisible while developing the most advanced military technologies in human history had proven that the most dangerous assumption in cyber warfare is the assumption that you understand the true capabilities of the systems and people responsible for protecting national security. Because sometimes the person fixing your computer is actually coordinating military operations in 8 different countries. Sometimes the quiet technician working late is developing technologies that will revolutionize warfare. And sometimes the most advanced military capabilities in the world are being operated by someone whose official job description mentions nothing more sophisticated than installing software updates. The night that Amanda Torres revealed her true capabilities had been just the beginning of a transformation in military cyber warfare that would influence American national security for decades to come. But the foundation of that transformation was the recognition that exceptional capabilities often exist where conventional thinking wouldn't expect to find them, and that the most valuable military assets are often the ones that remain hidden until circumstances require them to surface.